Thank you all for being here. I will share a couple of slides with you with some interesting insights about predictive marketing using artificial intelligence. This is a special deck that is addressing the case of retail banking. I believe this could be a framework for a best practice for retail banking. I've put my LinkedIn, but feel free to send me your connection invites. A bit of disclaimer before we start. Everything here is my personal views and is not a representation of my current or previous employers. Our agenda for today, we'll talk about predictive marketing and how to develop the right strategy and what to think of the data modeling and algorithms of it. It's a huge topic, of course, but we'll try to cover it, cover the fundamentals of it. And then using artificial intelligence in predictive marketing, more of specific emphasis on a couple of points, and then we'll summarize the key takeouts. So what is predictive marketing? Predictive marketing is where digital marketing meets predictive analytics. It's a mix between both, really. You put the data science of predictive analytics and marketing or digital marketing together, and this is what you get. We're trying to figure out what customers are more likely to convert or to accept your offering if they experienced a certain marketing message that is sent to them or communicated to them through a certain marketing channel. So we're trying to find out which customers are more likely than the others to respond if you send them a specific message on a specific channel. Now, how it works is basically companies or businesses try to utilize their data silos or the data lakes or the data warehouses with all the different consolidated sources of data in one place, and then apply mathematical models, what we call predictive analytics. And you apply these predictive models to figure out the subsequent data sets of the customers who are most likely to buy. And then you target these customers who are most likely to buy because this is the best optimization you can ever do in your campaign. Now, after you make the predictions, you come back again and feedback the cycle of the actual results so you can improve on the models that you have built. Now, why is this important more than not just a hype or not just a trend? Because predictive analytics is predictive marketing is such a transformational concept. It's basically changing the view or the paradigm of the marketing from being a cost center to a profit center, because it's the actual practice of increasing or optimizing the ROI. And I have seen cases that the ROI was doubled, meaning it was multiplied up to 17 times from the original ROI rates of just targeting everybody with a common broadcast or a common message. Now, before we get into the retail banking, I want to share something with you of a bit of a more simple approach for predictive marketing from the call center industry, so you can get the gist of it, you can get the idea of it before we dive into the more complex model of retail banking. So this is the real life example from a call center for an automotive company. CRM had 50,000 customers in the database, and the automotive company wanted to reach out to their customers so they can make a pre-booking for a new car, that limited edition that is coming out in a few months. Now, we have 50,000 customers. You cannot just rely on intuition or the judgment of the marketing manager or the sales director or someone like that to make filtration or figure out which customers to call. What you really want to do is that you want to make an informed decision based on analytics and data to identify what customers are more likely buy. So the idea is it's not just who to call first. It's looking at the customer profiles and their historic transactions, and also this is the interesting part of the call center, is all about when you actually call the customers. What time of the day are they are most likely to pick up the phone, and what day of the week are they most likely to answer the phone, and what days of the month is towards the end of the month or the beginning of the month or the middle of the month, and so on. And how to call them, because looking at the data and the historic data, there is a pattern for some customers who respond very positively if they were contacted, for example, by the opposite gender. Would you use that data to make, for example, male agents call female customers, or female customers call female agents, and so on? And what you really want to do is you want to match or pair your best performing agents or call center representatives to call the customers who are most likely to convert, because this is the kind of way where you optimize your chances. You get the best agents from the quality scores, and then you make this agent call the customer who has the system has predicted that they're very most likely to answer the call and accept the offer. Now, this is just an example to give you the idea of how we look at different metrics and dimensions between using the previous call center data and the customer profiles and customer satisfaction data, which gives a lot of insights about what customers prefer to be called by what gender, for example. Now, let's go into the retail banking. Now, this chart explains the entirety of the banking, let's say, landscape. So you have the retail business, and you have the corporate business, and you have the existing customers, and you have the new customers. And in this case, in this predictive analytics or predictive marketing case, we're going to focus on the quadrant which is between the retail and the existing customers. So we want to go to our existing customers in the retail banking and do some cross-selling to them. So they have a customer who, say, an account, savings account or a current account. You want to pitch to this customer, cross-sell to this customer to buy another retail product while he is an existing customer, for example, get a personal loan or an auto loan or a new credit card or something like that. Now, this case is focused on this quadrant. There is other applications, of course, but for our case, we're going to focus on this quadrant. Now, in this slide, I try to answer what data sources are you going to pull data or consolidate data from. So the case for retail banking is that you pull data from your core banking, the digital channels. It's everything, the mobile banking, online banking, ATMs, the data from the campaigns that you do, like display campaigns, social media campaigns, and even offline campaigns if you are doing some offline activations at certain locations where your business is present at. And you also get data from customer experience. That is data coming from all the satisfaction surveys that you do and the complaints from the CRM and so on. And also data from research data, because predictive analytics also works very, it's best when you also combine not just the data that you have, but also data coming from third party, like research agencies that do research data for what your customers are looking at, how your competitors are performing, and so on. And if you combine all these data in a data warehouse and you try to start applying the predictive analytics, then you will basically be able to identify patterns. And from identifying patterns, you'll be able to make predictions on what customers are most likely to buy the retail banking that you're trying to cross-sell, like a credit card or a personal loan. Now, what's in the data? Now, in this slide, I try to put but I think the most important dimensions of what's in the data for the case of retail banking. Basically, you have the personal data of the customer profiles, like the age, gender, location, and so on. This data is either static or not changing very frequently. And you have the business data. What products do they have? What service contracts did they sign up to? What subscriptions are active and their durations and so on. And then their experience dimension, which is the volume of the purchase of the products that they already had, or how frequent, and the contact profiles to the call center or the online banking or the mobile banking, and the impressions of what campaigns have they experienced, or what marketing messages have they been in touch with. And the usage is usage profiles basically reflect when the customers have used your product, like for example went online to check on his balance but did not buy or submit a complaint or make any transaction. He just went on to check the balance and exited. So this is kind of example of the usage. Also, fourth dimension, which I see very becoming more important these days, it's the influencer index. And basically try to look at your customer profiles and see, to try to determine the limit or the impact of their influence. Are they big on social media? Are they key decision makers in the businesses that have business with your bank? The value index is how big are their accounts or the loans or the credit card volumes and so on. And the satisfaction index is basically data coming from the satisfaction surveys. Now, in this predictive marketing, what it's really all about, the entirety of the cycle. So what we're trying to do here, now that we have seen all the data, we have identified the sources, we know what's in it. Now, what the algorithms are trying to do here is to match each customer in the data, and we're talking hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, each one of these customers, with what products he or she is most likely to buy based on the predictive algorithms that you have used. For example, you've used a mix between logistic regression, time series forecasting, and I don't know, neural networks, for example. So you match every customer with the products that they are likely to buy, and you even identify in this grid what marketing channels that they are most likely to convert, and you do not just use one. So the data, the algorithm will tell you that this person is most likely to purchase or to convert if they see a message on their mobile application. But this is not the only touch point or the channel that you have to go through. You might have to consider others, but understanding which one is the most effective or will break is the point breaker where the customer will actually take the action is important. But you understand that there is more than just one channel that might be used in parallel as well. Now, in this slide, I try to look at the reporting and the optimization of it all. What products do we want to sell and the contribution to our revenue? Because when you're applying the algorithms with more than one product, you might see that maybe a couple of products will compete at the same level of interest or prediction that the customer is going to buy. But then you have to look also at which one of them, you have to make a choice, which one of them is going to contribute more to your revenue. So if I have to choose between a credit card and a loan, I will choose a credit card, for example. Now, customer eligibility per product. And this is important because just like we said, the customers might be eligible for more than one product at different levels. And then you deploy the cross channels marketing because, like we've explained previously, customers are going to purchase at one point, but they need to experience the message or the marketing campaign at different touch points. What dates are times that customers most likely to make conversion, using third-party tools to boost the customer acquisitions, and also the reiteration of bringing everything back to the beginning after you get the results, and you start reiterating over and over until you get the maximum optimization results. Now, using AI in predictive modeling, now people come and say, oh, we can do a lot of predictive modeling in simple things like Excel, for example, or using simple scripts in R or Python. But why do we need to dig deeper and use advanced tools for artificial intelligence? Why cannot be done in a simple way? It can be done in a simple way, but if you do have the technology stack, and if you do bring the muscles of the artificial intelligence and the related technologies, will be able to do it continuously, not just one time, not just once a month, not just once a quarter, but you'll be able to do it not just weekly, but almost every day. So, and this will bring your learning curve up to a very good point in a very short time, and you'll be able to continue delivering sustainable results and continuous results. Now, if I can give you one tip or one advice of if you're going to do predictive marketing and you're going to bring on predictive analytics and use it in your digital marketing, the best advice that I can give you is do not rely on one team. Get multiple vendors if you have to. If you are doing everything internally, get multiple teams. Create multiple teams to compete for the same goal. If you're going to make a hybrid implementation between your internal teams and the vendors, do so in multiple teams and make all of them. I would typically choose between 3 or 4 teams, make everyone compete for the same goal. And when you get the results of their data sets, filter it out, take out all the common stuff, and this is the golden standard that you will run to or use in your campaigns. So, to summarize everything up, predictive marketing is the usage of predictive analytics to determine what customers or which customers are most likely to respond, convert to what marketing campaigns, using artificial intelligence in predictive marketing. What I would think is it's an extreme edge of marketing automation, because consider all the complexity of modeling the data, the integration of data sources, the entirety of the technology stack, and so on. Retail banking can achieve tremendous growth within the portfolio of existing customers when predictive marketing is implemented. The key factor, successful implementation, is not just building a technology stack that can handle massive data volumes, but also making quick modifications and using multiple teams to compete for delivering the optimum results. So that was it.